Okay, 7th graders, today we're talking about circle graphs, and your essential question is, can you use a circle graph to show the results of a survey? So first, what is a circle graph? It's just a data display that shows data as sections of a circle. And to make a circle graph, we first have to know that the sum of the angle measures in a circle is 360 degrees. So we find the percents. The data is given in percents normally, but all we have to do is multiply the decimal form of the percents by 360 degrees. And that'll give us the angle measure for each section. So, the table shows the results of a survey. Display the data in a circle graph. So, first we have to figure out how many people do we have. And it looks like we have 60 people. So, for each section, on the 25 out of 60, if we divide that out, gives us 0.416 repeating. And then all we have to do is multiply that 25/60th by 360 degrees, and that'll give us the number of degrees that we should use for 25 people. So it'd be 150 degrees. Same thing here. We have 15 Busch Gardens people out of 60. We multiply that by 360 degrees. And we get 90 degrees. 12 out of 60 times 360 gives us 72 degrees, and 8 out of 60 times 360 gives us 48 degrees. So, in order to make our circle graph, we should be using a protractor. I know that you don't have one at home, or maybe you do, but if you put your center in, you know that 90 degrees is a right angle, so that's Busch Gardens. That one's easy to do. 72 is going to be a little less than 90, so not straight down, but maybe like that. Cedar Point. 150 is going to be not half, a little less than half, so maybe not that much. Disney World, and then Universal Studios is the smallest. So you can estimate a little bit about what your circle graphs are going to look like, just because you might not have a protractor at home, but in class tomorrow we'll practice using protractors to create our circle graphs. The table shows the dog and cat ownership among teachers at OCS. Display the data in a circle graph. So, if I have 30%, I just have to find 30% as a decimal, which would be 0.30, multiply that by 360 degrees, and I get 108 degrees for my circle. So cats are going to be the same, 108 degrees in my circle. 15% is half of 30%, so it should be half of my degrees. Let's find out. 0.15 times 360 gives us 54 degrees. And then 25%, which is 1/4, right, would be a quarter of the graph, 1/4 of the circle graph. So that means it would be 90 degrees. Okay, so here's my circle. I'm gonna again start with my 90 because that's easy for me to do. And then the 108 and 108, and then 54. So this is about half of the 90 degrees, so that would be both. And then 108 and 108, we're just splitting this whole section in half. So I'm going to go with dogs and cats. Okay, turn your paper over. You have some problems to do. Find the angle measure that corresponds to the percent of the circle. So we find the decimal form, so this one would be 0.50, and multiply by 360 degrees, and that's going to tell you the angle measure. Then you have two problems where you have to display the data in a circle graph. Just guesstimate on your circles the best you can for those two. If you don't have a protractor. If you do have a protractor, go ahead and use it. And on number 6, you have to answer some questions about a circle graph. So make sure your homework is done for tomorrow and have a great night.